Hey everybody, it's Texas Stroker here, Lance Performance Shop, Lone Star, Mopars.com. It is Mopar Monday. It's the cool day of the week. It's only 97 right now after work, and we're probably going to be 10 plus degrees higher than that. So, trying to get some time out here in the shop. And last night we cooked in a sauna as we took a look at the Koken swivel head rotos, as I like to call them. I think 45 tooth, but still insanely light back drag. I'm looking forward to using it. We went with the knurled handle there. We're just going to have that there for some eye candy and comparisons. This order was with that item. It's from Koken USA, in part because of that, and then because I think it was a 20% discount we got at the time. So, if I grab the paperwork, I should be able to rattle this off. In fact, we'll just grab the box and roll that way. This thing is current price from Koken. You're going to be looking at $130. No. Let's see. $126.48, somewhere like that. $125, $130. It's a bit less at DRPD. I'll possibly link to both for you. But this is Koken's part number 3725ZB-280. Some of you might be familiar with that. 280, you think that's the length. I also need to add 72T. That gives away updated zeal, right? You've got the Z in there. The B, some of you will remember, button for quick release. That would be correct. Here it is in all of Koken's glory. A little difficult to see that, not because it's not focused, just it's sort of folded over there. But it's the kind of not necessarily the most exciting thing we've got. Okay, it is a quick release, as you can see, and if we pull it out, you notice anything odd about this? I only have one other Ko-ken Ratchet like this, and it has nothing to do with the quick release. Do you know what it is? I'll give you some time to think about it. The answer, not length related, not Z series, not quick release, it's fixed. I guess we have two. We've got the really stubby and the 1/2 inch. And everything I bought from Koken Z series, outside of that little stubby, which was kind of a mistake anyway, which turned out to be a great mistake, is a flex head. And the reason for that, the prices are great. You know, it was kind of filling a whole void at the time. And since then, I know it's easy to lose track of things, but we've built up a very impressive Koken arsenal. Again, Koken with me is kind of right there with Proto in terms of quality and price. Proto, I do have a little tendency to lean that direction just because experience. I've experienced Proto for decades. Koken is kind of the new kid on the block, but very similar to Proto, right? Seems to be quality. I've used it now, geez, like 5+ years. No real issues. Seems to be good. Great bang for the buck. Again, between Koken and Proto, if you're wanting to get something quality, but you don't want to break the bank, you can go either pathway, right? If you want metric in Koken and SAE and Proto, do that. But you really, I don't think, can go wrong. Between the two companies, you have such an absurd offering. And again, it's all at very, very reasonable prices. So what we did, this is kind of where we would have started with 3/8, right? And this is the shorter standard handle, if you will. It is, what, 180-ish? It doesn't actually have a length on there. I think it's something like that. And we were rocking and rolling with that until we got this, and it kind of became my go-to. I like this one so well, I replicated it. Yes, we have two of these. One of them is at work. But this thing has been awesome. The one at work, I put a lot of force into that sucker. No issues. If you note, they're the same length. They're 280 millimeter. It's same head, same ratchet mechanism. This is a quick release. This is not. This is a flex head. This is not. This was just kind of a let's do it because we did this. Okay, a while back. Now currently Koken does not have a flex head in the 1/2 inch drive. I'm not talking locking flex head, I'm just talking flex head, you know, like we see here, like all my other Koken stuff is. So we just have so many like Koken sockets. It's a thing where I thought, you know, I should just get, next time there's a good deal, which this was it, I thought we ought to pull the trigger and get the 3/8. I'd like to do a fixed quarter I just don't know if I'm going to. Mainly in part, I love everything about the Z series, but the handles, particularly on the quarter, are just daintily small. I complain about it because it's a genuine complaint of mine. It's personal preference. Some will love it, some will have no issues, some will be more appalled than I am. And it's really the only negative I've got there. And it would take a pretty good deal, like DRPD has an overstock sale with a huge discount for me to pull the trigger. And since the quick release wasn't really available at the time, I thought, you know, hey, let's differentiate them that way and we'll go quick release. So this is the length, kind of funny. It's a little bit longer than the 1/2 inch, go figure. But I just thought between these two sizes, if we line up the handles, I just like this one so well, I thought I'm going to do a long 3/8 for the quick release. So that is what we did. Again, right here. We dial her in. There's your long part number. Again, 3725 ZB 280 72T. The 72T not engraved there. It is made in Japan, 235 on the bottom. And again, everything you love about Koken is just right there. Again, just the main thing is just the turn back, right? Stupid good. Very smooth, very consistent. I could grab any 3/8 Koken I've got and they perform identical. It's nice to see that across the board. Handle, would I like it to come up farther? Personally, yes. Would I like it to be a little bit more voluptuous? Yes. Do I understand, again, why the Z series is compact and slim and trim? Absolutely. Personal preference would be a little bit bigger of a handle in every dimension. But fantastic ratchets, it just kind of made sense to add it. We patiently waited for a sale. Koken USA, they usually have pretty significant discounts when they do have a sale, and they're typically tied in with big holidays. So Memorial Day, Father's Day, Independence Day, you have a pretty good run there. The next one's probably going to be Labor Day. I don't remember if they do a Halloween or fall sale. And then, of course, like Black Friday, Christmas, New Year's type of a thing with a couple others sprinkled in, you know. So DRPD is my personal go-to if it's out of stock or something DRPD doesn't have. I'll turn back to Koken. Sometimes, again, Koken 25% off, something crazy. Always do what's best for you in terms of transit time, discounts, all that stuff. I like both outlets. I, again, personally prefer DRPD. It's just quicker transit. I kind of like supporting the little guy. I do like going direct, though, too. So there's pros and cons either way. But regardless of what you do, you can go on the Jungle site, buy from some other place. I was swatting a fly there, by the way. It's not just excessive hand motion, it's flies. But shop around, get yourself the best deal, factor in warranty if you're so inclined, transit time, make yourself happy. The Ratchet, if you wind up with it in hand, you're going to be pretty happy. So we did pull that off. Token item here. I'm kind of sad that I bought this now. It was only $5.15. You're like, well, that's not a big deal. And it's in this bag right here with the beautiful Koken logo. Only reason I'm sad, I thought it was going to be bigger than this, and I've had stickers just like this that I've turned into magnets, and this was a magnet. I thought it would be like thicker. This is basically like what I create when they send me stickers, so it's a little bit redundant. You know, I was thinking slightly larger and like thicker. Like, see how that flaps around like a sticker? And it's a very thin magnetic backing. That's basically what I sit out here and painstakingly cut out. It is available if you want to avoid that or you don't have the magnetic sheets or something. But when I saw it and realized it was like flimsy and floppy, I was like, oh, dang it. But it is what it is. It's still cool. Not a bad price. Again, I was just thinking it'd be a little bit more robust, if you will. So that was just a little novelty thing I threw in. And speaking of little novelties, we are going to go right here. This is an item I don't think DRPD has. I'm sure you could email and he would get this thing in for you. It'd probably be a fantastic price. But it is Koken's part number 168C. Anyone remember a 168? Some of you might kind of give a telltale there. Hyphen 2x6. Some of you might have a rough idea on 2x6, right? Sort of change things up. 210 millimeter length, I guess, is what you'd go by. That would be an overall length. And if I drop this down, thinking like, oh hey, that's not a ratchet handle. No, it is not. And you're thinking like, okay, screwdriver, hex stock, what's the handle look like? Handle looks like that. You're thinking like, okay, yeah, that does look familiar. You brought in a few, kind of a cool orange color. Okay, Phillips square stock, thumb rest, looks to spin well. Kind of has the scrubber pads, Koken branding and part number there on the handle. 2x6 though, what's up with that? That looks like a standard 4-inch shank. I realize we're zoomed in, you can't see that well. Now take a look at the tip. You're like, I thought that was the number 2 Phillips. Well, it is on this end. So basically, in a nutshell, this is what we've done. We've picked up a reversible blade driver. Now, some of you might think, wait a second, I remember this because I saw that thing that you brought in and I picked one up. And if I could find it, looks like I put the magnet bag on top of it. We have this. Brought this in quite some time ago, a little Stubby. Okay, same concept, 2x6, but I know some of you are thinking the same thing I'm thinking. Can you put the longer shank in the Stubby handle? Absolutely. I'm gonna shut up so you can hear this. Ready? That is positively locked. Okay, so no, this does not create a stubby handle, but it does create a unique length if you have some oddball stuff to do, or you've got the shanks pulled out, or you spin out a tip, whatever it might be. The flip side here, can we do this? This is dangerous. Okay. Oddly enough, this could potentially be more useful than what we just created. This is fully seated. It didn't make the sound because I cautiously snuck up on it. And you're thinking like, when would you do that? This, it sticks out a little farther than I'd like, but it's still able to be retracted, right? We'll switch over here to slotted. And again, seats very well. If you hate stubby handles, this creates a stubby driver. And let me see here, I've got a Vera right here. Look at that, the Koken is actually significantly stubbier than this Vera, and yes, that's a fixed blade. I've got a Hazette hexanamic handle here. It's also stubbier than that. So, hey, price point on this sucker, if you're curious, I think it was like $15.81. I actually got 2 of them, so they show me 31 something, but I'm pretty sure, bank on 15 bucks. It'll accept the bits from here, and the bits from here will go in the other thing, which is great news. But I actually got 2 of them. Thinking like, why? I don't know. I've also broken this one, but I broke it intentionally. Now, if you were curious, right here, we're gonna have to zoom in on this for you. Do you see that? They really do some interesting stuff here. When I extracted this, I was not expecting to see something that robust. If you're curious what the inside looks like, there you go. Now, this piece here would simply seat down. Whoop, just shot it off like that. Fly needs to get out of here, man. About to brake clean you. We could kind of seat this thing back. I just sort of chipped that up a little bit as I kind of pried on it. But what on earth would we be doing with that handle? I don't know. I'm sure I had some good reason. It just seems to have escaped my mind at the moment. So we will just let it be at that for now. But that really was not just a bare handle. I wish I could buy those, but I can't. So if you're curious, like, well, show us the other piece. It's right here. So now if we screw this up, lose it, if we want to chop this off, whatever we want to do, we've got a spare shank. We can also put it in the stubby handle. So kind of set up and go into town there. These are available in different lengths and configurations as well. What I want to do now is showcase this. We're going to get back to Ratchet land here. I got a 3/8 19 mil. The Fitment, so good. There we go. Now the only issue here, what do we have to do? You have to rip it off. Alright, it's fixed. This is a quick release. Let's take that same 19 millimeter socket. You ready? Actuation, very nice, and there we go. So this is absolutely not a necessary purchase, but it was a desired purchase. The flex head can do everything this can do, but sometimes, especially at work, the one at work is subjected to a little bit more wear and tear, shall we say. And I put routinely 15, 16 sockets on there. All right, like there's a reason that I have 15, 16 sockets, and I'm so adamant about that. And the problem is it gets heavy, right? Especially I'm doing things overhead or something, and so the head's a bit floppy. Yes, we can tighten it down, but knowing that, I thought, if that ever sees any wear, if there's ever a situation where I don't want, the head to drop or flop and my hand go crashing into something, let's get a fixed ratchet. The next question was the length. We really don't pay that much more for this extended length handle, and I thought, you know what? With this one, ever since I've gotten it, I basically default it over the shorter handle, and I thought, let's just play it smart and replicate that with a quick release. So, like I said, the quarter might come. It'll just have to be a really good deal. This right here is a 9/16 deep 6-point, as you can see here. They just pair beautifully together. Again, absolute joy, zero issues so far in all the time I've had this Koken stuff. So that's what we did. We picked this up. We picked up one that we intentionally broke for reasons I just escapes my mind. Can't remember. Maybe we'll have to revisit that at some point in time. And then we got a fixed 3/8 head. I'm happy. And I think we're going to call that good. So again, if you want to buy direct from Koken, maybe you're up there in Connecticut, Maine, the Northeast, New England, Eastern Seaboard, past Ohio and Illinois type of an area, you're probably going to get quicker service than I do. I would caution you to wait for a sale. DRPD's prices lower across the board, sometimes significantly lower. If it's not something you gotta have and you're going direct through Koken USA, just be patient, wait for one of the big holidays, get yourself some sort of a discount, and go to town from there. So otherwise, DRPD, if you're also not in the wait and you're up in New England and want to see how fast things get to you from the West Coast, there you go. So, but yeah, that's all I got for you. If you have used Koken's quick release, how are you liking them? Similarly, fixed head. Have you used Koken's fixed head ratchets for a while? Do you have all fixed head? Do you have all flex head? Some of you might be like me and you really don't even have fixed head Kokens. You just, everything's a flex head. So again, they don't offer a locking flex head at this point in time. They don't offer any flex in the 1/2-inch drive whatsoever, at least in the modern 72 tooth Zeal stuff. So your experiences there, feel free to share them, what your preferences are, what you would do if you would only get fixed, if you would only get flex. Whatever you want to talk about, feel free. But on that note, we're going to wrap this sucker up. I got a really, really overdue video I'm going to crank out because I kind of want to use the sockets. And, oops, spoiler alert. But yeah, that's what I'm going to shoot for here. And with that said, you know the drill. LoneStarMopars.com is a website. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all three at Lone Star Mopars. If you have not subscribed, I encourage you to do so. If you do that, you ring the bell, you jump your charger across the creek. YouTube just might notify you. We got new videos every Wednesday and Saturday, 9 a.m. Texas time. With that said, I do hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned a little something, got some ideas, and nothing else. I hope I catch you back here for more action from the shop.